Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the AFC Championship game on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. With that, let's get out to Southern California with the call from Los Angeles. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is most likely the final go-around here in this building, but the NFL playoffs have come to sold-out Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one between the Jacksonville Jaguars and our home team. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports, and man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
The winner of this one will represent the AFC in Super Bowl 54. And away we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback Nick Foles.
Love his build, love his arm. Had a Pro Bowl season with the Philadelphia Eagles, looking to scale those heights once again.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
A pass there, complete to Westbrook. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. With that, let's take a look here at the Charger defense.
It's really easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run on 2nd down with Blue. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Here's Foles. And finding Keelan Cole. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
That one going against the guard, Andrew Norwell. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Foles. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
This is the running back, Blue. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Foles. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
I'm actually old enough to remember him hitting the league, and so many people are talking about his throwing motion at the time. A little bit unorthodox. No one talks about it anymore except in admiration. The ball gets to the target really well, and usually with big production.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. From the 27, Rivers complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
So many weapons on this offense, and we've seen them all season long score from any point on the field. But we all know playoff football comes down to playing smart. The game slows down, and it's harder to move it. So you've got to avoid penalties, avoid turnovers, and not let your emotions get the best of you.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Here's Tyler Newsome now. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Watch the slant. Check. Crunch.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Foles on the handoff, going to give it to Blue. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. He'll look to throw. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
Calais Campbell is one of the tallest defensive ends in the league, has the ability to get low and play the run, and adds excellent kick blocking ability.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
Offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He'll get this to Eckler. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Out of the gun, they run with blue. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. Now Benjamin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 2nd and 9, Rivers. He completes it to Henry. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. To the outside, that's complete to Williams. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 24-yard line.
On 2nd down, Eckler. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
The tackle made by Jake Ryan. That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and
3rd and short yardage, Rivers. He's got his man here. It's Green. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3. Just get the ball right to the receiver.
This is the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
Rivers now 8 of 8 throwing the football in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a very good start, but don't go get those Super Bowl T-shirts left. Still the early going here.
I wonder if they're even printing them at this stage of the game, right? Do you wait a little longer before you say which one you're going to do? Good advice, Brandon. Make sure you know there's a lot of game left, but a good start.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down now, Blue. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Calais Campbell on the stop. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Rivers hands off to Eckler, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Allen's got it, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Badgley able to knock this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll drop to throw. He hits Blue. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, they stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st down, again, they go with Armstead. Now, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
The tackle by Denzel Perryman. A gain of 9 brings up
On 2nd and 1, Foles. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play? Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
We got 4. We got 4.
He'll drop to throw. Completes it to Lee. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down, Armstead looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down. All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. They come out here in the eye. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On first down, it's Blue. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Second and 6. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. That's Thomas Davis on the sack. Came in the league way back in 2005.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and a yard, Rivers nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack.
Switch up.
From the gun, Rivers. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On the carry, this is Blue. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. From just shy of midfield, Foles. He completes it to Westbrook. 2nd catch of this AFC title game, and he's got a 1st down. Foles now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Foles. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now a shotgun handoff. Blue. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. 2nd catch of this AFC title game, and he's got a 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. All that only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down. AFC title game, 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to play. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. They go draw here. Blue. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Foles. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Joey Bosa in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Foles. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Now Foles. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Joey Bosa picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. So out come the Chargers. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Operating from the gun, Rivers completes it to Benjamin. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Rivers now. Only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Caught by Allen. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Brandon, thanks as always. One half remains in the battle to see who will take home that Lamar Hunt trophy and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, time to look ahead to the NFC Championship coming up later today. And it should be a great one as well, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half and the right to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, as I'm privileged to hand things back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Blue. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They run with Blue. And he stopped immediately there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And look at this, it's a fake. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Marcel Darius never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing Rivers. Well, this is caught by Williams. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
A pickup of 18 yards.
Hey, you're on the
3rd down.
Rivers now from the 50. Open man, it's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. 20.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's got his tight end, Oliver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Foles now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Throw right side of the tight end, O'Shaughnessy.
Holding. Offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
A 2-yard gain brings up 2nd down.
Deferring to Armstead on the draw. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
The tackle by Derwin James. It's a gain of a yard.
On the draw, here's Blue. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. So 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive.
Holding. Offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
A gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 6.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Allen's got it complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A Charger first down. Rivers hooking up with Allen.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Rivers now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He's crashing.
It's Eckler again. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
3rd and short yardage, Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
On is the Chargers punter now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Nick Foles as he heads back out to work. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now back to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Phillips there to knock that one away.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Here's Logan Cook now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. Returning, it's Benjamin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Rivers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Benjamin's got it. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He hits Blue. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The ball resting on their own 5 here as they come up to the line on 2nd and long. They hand it off. It's Blue. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. He'll take it at the 42. One quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Rivers on 1st down. He's got Allen. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing, Rivers. Oh no, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Right now, Charles, this is the drive of the season. You're on the road here in the playoffs. It's put up or shut up. They need points.
This is where you have to come together as a team, as you just noted, on the road. So that means they've carried that mentality with them throughout. Hey, we've got to go on the road. We've got to rely on ourselves, right? Focus, yet still find the fun in it. How great is this, guys? Look at the spot we're in right now. And then go to your top players, call the plays that they run best.
Yeah, sort of controlling their own destiny, but this place has been loud. Not going to be easy. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Joey Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Foles. The throw taken in by Cole. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On 2nd down, Rivers again. Got his man, it's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Play action now, Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. He completes it to Henry. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On is the Chargers punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. First down, and they go right back to blue. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Foles. And he completes it to Westbrook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. They'll run on first down. Blue. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Now Armstead. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rivers finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Rivers on the money, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Rivers again. He'll get this to Eckler. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Rivers. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Rivers with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Rivers. He'll have a first down inside the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll throw again. Rivers. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Chargers are going to retake the lead.
That play was blocked so well, it almost felt like a 7-on-7 session with no rush at all. Quarterback was able to stay in the pocket, scan the field, go through his progressions, and find the open receiver for a touchdown.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 5. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 30 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now Foles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Stop your whining.
2nd and 11. The open man is Westbrook. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And he fires one incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, they run with blue. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. And it all rides on this one play, a trip to the Super Bowl in the balance here on 4th down. And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee there to make the grab. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Foles will look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Eckler. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll get this to his running back. It's Justin Jackson. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here comes a very important kick now for Michael Badgley. This for the lead in the final stages. Badgley's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Foles and the Jags down 20-18. A minute 7 remaining. A field goal could send them to the Super Bowl as they come up here on 1st down. He'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Drops it to Blue, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to throw. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Going with Armstead, a first down carry. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. This for a trip to the Super Bowl. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in an evenly contested AFC title game, that very likely was the kick that'll send them to the Super Bowl.
And that's why you and I are up in the booth. Can't even imagine the pressure he was under right there. I mean, that's a career definer. And he stepped up and calmly put it through the uprights.
This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And the AFC champion has been crowned onto the Super Bowl. There cannot be a better feeling than this.
It's almost indescribable. And when we talk to players from the past, a lot of them mention getting to the Super Bowl, winning a conference championship, even before they talk about the Super Bowl itself. All that hard work to get to your goal, incredible.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.